I'm Brian Nash from How We Got Here Genealogy. If you're a serious family historian, you are probably like me. You don't really look at your DNA origins much. Why? Because we understand they have little to no value in actual genealogy research. As I always like to say, it's the shared matches and the CM counts that are the true gems. My own origins were simple. 98% British Isles split between Scotland and Ireland with a small percentage of English. I really hate it. That's there. Well, anyways, this broad, colorful, but useless in breaking down a brick wall trying to find the origin of an ancestor in Atlantic Canada. But with this latest 2025 update, I might just have changed my opinion. And maybe there is some value in the estimates after all. So let's answer the two overriding questions for genealogists today. What's different, and why does that matter? To tackle what's different, it boils down to science and design. This is not a small refresh. Ancestry's completely overhauled their system, leveraging an expanded reference panel of over 161,000 samples. That's giving them a much clearer picture of what DNA belongs where. The old regions are gone, and they're replaced by a major jump in precision. And the new results were presented with macro regions to keep things stable, and then specific subregions make things accurate. I logged in, and this is what greeted me. The update was live, my data has been crunched, and the results are fundamentally different. Let's start with what's different by putting the old and new side by side. In fact, Ancestry does that for me. When you scroll down, there is a section where it says view previous results and FAQs. If you click on there, it gives a great breakdown of the change. First difference, the numbers have moved. My total British Isles score is still there, but at first glance, I only have one old region and 8 new ones, and it looks like Scotland dropped from 46 to 7%, or maybe it was Ireland dropped from 44% to 7%. Either way, if it was Ireland, Scotland isn't not there, and it's 0%, and if it was Scotland, Ireland's 0%. Anyways, major chunk at about 93% in total has been redistributed to new, more specific regions. This is the new algorithm they have at work, trying to be less ambiguous. The second difference is these new macro regions. My results are now nested under a broader grouping, Celtic and Gaelic, which is about 85%. Now, this new design is cleaner, organizing your new super specific regions under these more stable categories. This is how Ancestry is attempting to future-proof your results when they do their annual updates, that always come along with these annual percentage swings that people complain about or just don't understand. The third and most critical difference is specificity. The single broad regions are now gone, replaced by these large macro regions, which are then in turn are broken down further into new subregions. My 44% Ireland is now split into 19% Munster, 12% Connacht, and 6% Leinster. Interesting, the part they say isn't new, so was either Scotland or Ireland before, Central Scotland or Northern Ireland, is at 7%. And this grouping makes perfect sense when you understand the Ulster plantations of the 16th and 17th century. If you don't know about them, I did a video on them earlier this year. I'll put a link to it in the description. Anyways, my Scottish region has also been refined into more precise regions, including the one just mentioned. I also have 39% Hebrides and Western Highlands, and 2% Northeast Scotland. I'm hoping in the future they might break down that Hebrides and Western Highlands even further. And finally, the surprises. My 8% England and Northwestern Europe from 2024 is now broken into an England macro region, which is broken down into 10% Devon and Somerset, and 2% Southeastern England and Northwestern Europe. which seems like a broad region, but once again, understanding the history of the British Isles makes perfect sense. Even the great Scot, Robert the Bruce, is said to be Norman in origin, at least partially, so I can count myself in good company, I guess. Now, my 2% Iceland is gone, but that was only there for the last 2 updates, and I don't really know where it came from. But the most interesting is this 2% Western Europe macro region, which is broken down to all being into a single subregion called Germans in Russia. And this region seems to correspond with the regions from my heritage and family tree have identified for me. And again, I have no idea through my research where this actually comes from. So this is where I changed my mind about the estimates. Why does this matter? Because for the first time, these estimates are becoming actual hypotheses. The new Munster Ireland region aligns perfectly with my 3rd great-grandparents, John Nash and Margaret Walsh, who have been a brick wall. All the records in Nova Scotia just state they are from Ireland, nothing more specific. I suspected they were from Waterford or Cork based on the Fans method, but I also found 2 other couples from elsewhere in Ireland that could be the correct couple based on approximate age and names and when they disappeared from Irish records, or maybe the Irish records disappeared from them. That's the hard thing with Irish records. Anyways, the DNA is now giving me a specific region. This is real genealogical value. Combining this with my shared matches, I should be able to confirm the right John and Margaret. Now for the reality check. This matters because it causes confusion. The community is seeing dramatic percentage shifts, Scottish percentages dropping, unexpected regions appearing, but this is a temporary instability that comes with the new scientific model. So don't let your paper trail be overruled. Use the new data to confirm, not to replace your research. And it also matters because the retiring old features, specifically the country-based regions we're so familiar with, to make way for this new, more accurate science. At any time a familiar tool changes or disappears completely, it can feel like a setback, even if the replacement is superior. The bottom line is this. The new results are not a finish line. They're a tool for generating a better hypothesis. The 2025 update is forcing us to stop accepting Irish and start conferring Munster, Connacht, or Leinster. But we still used our shared matches, but now the estimates are giving us a clearer idea of where in the world to look for those matches in our ancestors. So here's my 3-step action plan for the 2025 update. Number 1, validate the new names. Start research on any newly gained granular region like Leinster. And then I'm going to recluster your matches. See if the side view parent by parent feature and your existing match clusters align with the new macro regions. And 3, search hyper-locally. Use your new refined genealogical knowledge to help target your record searches. This is a way to turn your estimate into a proven ancestor. So, in my opinion, overall, the 2025 update is a win for genealogists because it offers precision. My own genetic story went from a broad 90% Celtic heritage to a deep dive into specific actionable regions like Leinster, Munster. The estimates are no longer just color on a pie chart. They are now research coordinates. I'm curious, what are your new 2025 percentages? Gain in new county? Did you lose Scotland or another country? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see how I'm using these new Irish and Scottish insights to break down specific brick walls in my research, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know all about when I upload my next video. And in the meantime, be sure to check out this playlist here for more tools and stories. And remember, every family has a story to tell, and every story is worth telling. So keep searching for your ancestors.